Welcome to Retire Right Television. I'm Rebecca Powers here with Paul Roberts of Roberts Wealth Management. Good to see you.
Always great, Rebecca. You know I love being in here with you. We have so much fun.
We really do. We were actually laughing, full out laughing when they said you're on.
Yes.
Okay, so if this were a game show, today's show would be how to win in a recession.
All right.
Okay, so I always throw out challenges for you. How do we win? I know that I and other clients are winning with you, and the biggest part is we have peace of mind, which is wonderful because you have to have a plan, and that's what we have with Roberts Wealth. How do you win in a recession? That seems unreal.
But no, recessions are great.
If you know what to do.
Yeah, money's made in bull markets, fortunes are made in recessions, and
Explain.
I've been waiting and preparing for this recession for many years, and so first step is for people to recognize economic and market cycles, to understand them and know them for where they are, which is the biggest threat to Americans, investors, and retirees today, is that most of them's only source of information is the news media. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean our local channels.
Sure.
But,
network.
National network and broadcast media sections. I mean, when they're wordsmithing and changing the word recession to transition and this and that and everything, then how can people actually take advantage of it or prepare themselves? That's, if you ask me, part of the psychology and the methodology behind all the word games is that the big players understand how markets work, right? To have a winner, you got to have a loser.
Amen.
Okay? And so they're not going to tell everybody out there how to be on the winning side.
Right.
Because if everybody's on the winning side, it's not a winning side, because if there's no losers, there's no winners.
Right. And I've told you before, I truly believe that's why we are not taught basic finance as children, but go on.
Right. They don't ever teach you, hey, in a market, your money doesn't disappear. It changes hands. Right?
You taught me that. That's a whole other way of looking at it. My money didn't disappear, went to someone else's hands. You knew better.
Your loss is my gain. My gain is your loss, right? And that's the way it works.
It's fascinating.
So you first have to wrap your mind around economic cycles and market cycles, and then you have to have good sources of information like we try to provide on the show here.
Right.
Because I have, great sources of information, but I'm a nerd. All I do, I research and I pull data all day, every day. I have great sources, the best economists, all the best charts, all the best statistics out there, and I know how to find all them. But that's because I'm a research nerd. I know how to find the resources. The average person doesn't have those resources, or if they have those resources, they don't know how to analyze the data properly to make good decisions. So therefore, they're going to make most of their financial decisions based on what the national news media is telling them. And the national news media right now is telling them, we're not in a recession, we're in a transition. It's okay.
Right.
And
but inflation's extraordinarily high. And
we've seen 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, which has always been the official definition of a recession, 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. But they come in and they say, well, no, we're not, because look at wages. Employee wages have increased 5% this year. That's great. It's first wage growth we've seen. And employment is at highs. Our unemployment numbers are very low right now. And so they're trying to pull that and tell people that's why we're not in a recession. I would tell people that has no indication of where we are, and those are lagging indicators. Okay, when we look at market cycles, economic cycles, we look at leading indicators and lagging indicators.
Okay.
And lagging indicators are employment and wage growth. And I would say the reason that we have low unemployment or high employment and some wage growth right now is because everybody's forgetting we went through a pandemic for 2 years.
Right. Everybody got free money for a while.
Everybody got free. Well, and all the businesses got hurt. Everybody was laid off. Everybody was stuff. And then at the end of the pandemic, and they kept unemployment going, for 2 years, and the stimulus and everything else, and nobody could find anybody to work. Right. So when companies and business can't find people to work, what do? Pay more. Right. So of course, we saw 5% wage growth. Coming out of the pandemic, they had to start paying people more to get people to come take the jobs and to get the full employment to keep their businesses growing, right?
But cost of living has gone up 9%, so that 5 still doesn't even match. I mean,
and that's why it's not justifiable. That's why when they say, well, but wage growth's up 5%, so we're not in a recession. Yeah, but the cost of all of your goods is up way more than that, right?
Okay, so go on.
So then the second
And I'm
part
sorry,
of
you
that
said
is
GDP. Let's tell our friends at home. Let's break that down. Anytime I hear a big term, I want you to explain it.
gross domestic product, right? So all of the goods produced and sold within the United States and outside the United States in a year, what's that amount of goods? It's your GDP, right? And for an economy to be strong, you need a positive GDP every quarter. That says your economy is expanding and growing.
Okay.
Negative GDP, you're producing less, you're selling less, you're making less money.
And that's
right?
the danger of printing money, because you can print money but not have orange juice to buy with that fake money, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah,
is that kind of the
yeah,
easiest
yeah.
way to understand that?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's a somewhat a good analogy there.
Try to simplify it, my 12-year-old asked. Okay, so go on.
So we find ourselves in this position today where they're saying we're not in a recession because we got 5% wage growth and we have high employment. Well, we have high employment because all the businesses and companies went through the pandemic. They lost a bunch of money. They all suffered, and they're trying as hard as they can to get back going and to get back to thriving. And they finally got people willing to work again, so they're finally at full employment. That is no indicator of where the economy or the market cycles are today. Okay? It's a lagging cycle. That's a lagging indicator that comes later. Where we are today is in a full-blown recession, and when we enter these recessions, that's when you have to shift gears and shift your mindset and how you outlook on things, right? First thing, understand we're in a recession.
Yeah.
Second, understand we're in a bear market. Then third, and most important, is quit taking your information and making your financial decisions based off the news media, what they say.
Yeah, or don't even make your own financial
Right.
decisions, because I know I'm certainly not the expert in it.
And then fourth, recreate expectations.
Yeah.
Okay? People have been through a 13-year bull market. They've got those expectations. They have been conditioned through that 13 years to think that's normal. So now they have the same expectations. Well, my portfolio should grow to 8 to 10% a year. You're not going to find 8 to 10% growth in a recession and in a bear market. So when it comes to a recession and a bear market, it's not about chasing that performance and chasing that gain. It's about holding on to what you got, preserving capital, right? Like we always say, you win big by not losing big. If you don't participate in the recession and you don't participate in the decline of the stock market and you don't lose that money, and you don't waste 5 years of your life going down, going through the decline and trying to recover back to even. If you don't waste that 5 years of opportunity and you don't participate in that decline and you don't lose money, then you're positioned to be one of the winners.
Right.
Now all of a sudden when the market's at the bottom and you haven't lost any money, you're still sitting here on all your cash. Guess what? You get to buy the market 50 to 60% discounted. Well, that's a pretty good buy, right?
Right.
We're all taught, our grandmothers went, oh, look, there's a sale on, right? Dillard's has a sale on. I could get this 60% off. That's a good thing, right?
Right.
Well, right now, if you're buying the market, you're not just missing the sale at Dillard's, you're paying above retail.
Yeah.
You're paying way too much for what you're getting. Don't pay more than something. Don't pay greater than the value of an item that you purchase.
And
right?
don't get into a rugby game and get beat the heck up instead of sitting in the sidelines having popcorn, enjoying the show. And when it's over, well, get back in.
Exactly.
And that's why I know that it's given me such peace of mind. You said sale and Dillard's. You go down to the mall and you're on sale. What's on sale right now that is so profound that you said is that taxes are on sale?
Taxes.
I know we talked about it last week, but we had a lot of calls about that. Is it really better to pay now? Let's just put it off. Let's pay later when taxes are lower.
Blue light special. Get them while they're hot. I'm personally in tax brackets that would make most people choke.
Right.
And you think, and my accountants and my CPAs used to try to tell me years ago, every year, oh, you need to put more money, shove more money in your 401k and get the deduction, and put more money in your IRAs and get the deduction. You need to get all these deductions. Yeah. Your income's too high. You're paying too high of a tax rate. No, I don't want a deduction right now. Why would I take a tax deduction when we're at the all-time lowest rates that we have seen in 100 years so that I could pay those taxes in the future when they're much higher?
Right.
I want to pay my taxes now. I love paying taxes. I love paying my taxes. I want to pay them all. I want to pay as much as I can today, because there's going to come a day 5 to 10 years from now when I'm going to be really, really happy that I'm not paying them.
Absolutely. We need to take a very quick break. There's a number 388-2031. By the way, we have an office now in Daphne as well as soon to be in Pensacola. So tell them what they can expect when they come in and see Miss Sharon.
Well, every week when we do the show, we open up 20 slots on our calendar. We have a very high level of demand for what we do. That's why the business is continuing to grow. People love what we do. They love the confidence we give for them. But every week, we want to guarantee that our viewers have an opportunity to come in and sit down with one of the all-star advisors of Roberts Wealth Management team and get them set on track. So we're opening up 20 slots for the next 20 callers who call the show right now, a full-blown comprehensive review of your entire financial situation. There's no cost, no obligation, no sales pressure, no sales gimmicks, nothing of that nature. We're going to sit down, have a warm cup of coffee, talk to you about your goals, your concerns, your family dynamics. We're going to help you design and build an individualized plan, custom tailored to fit your needs, that takes care of every aspect of your financial life, coming to income, when it comes to risk, performance, taxation, inflation, estate planning, Social Security, pension decisions, all of it. You don't have to do it yourself in a do-it-yourself retirement world today. You got the amazing all-star team of Roberts Wealth Management behind you. So pick up the phone, give us a call today.
Absolutely. And stay with us. We will be right back. More with Paul Roberts after this.
Meeting our son.
Crazy road trips.
Memories with Grandpa.
Family and friends.
My first job.
My fourth job.
Exploring our world.
Our world. Our first date.
Our
Our
special song.
Secure your retirement by meeting with a financial advisor.
Hey folks, let us help you make your retirement dreams a reality. Give my office a call today.
Do you know how much you're paying in fees or commissions with your current plan or advisor? What about unnecessary risk or future tax implications? Sit down with a fiduciary advisor who can help you understand important retirement concepts, and so you can make the best decisions for yourself moving forward. We may even be able to answer questions you didn't even know needed to be asked.
Hey folks, what's your next move? Let's get you set to retire right.
All right, thanks for staying with us. I'm Rebecca Powers here with Paul Roberts of Roberts Wealth Management. Again, offices in Biloxi, Mobile, Daphne, and soon Pensacola, Florida. So I'm going to give a personal story. There was, about, I don't know, 6 months ago when we did really well in a certain stock. And you don't have to see this stuff if you don't want, but I called Karen looking at stuff. This one stock did really well, and you were advising your people to sell them. And I didn't want to sell it because it was doing really well. But of course, you were right. But then we got so much capital gains from selling it, I thought, well, this must be a mistake. But then you said pay taxes on it, and you were right again. So
Never, ever, ever let taxes get in the way of profits.
So let's just talk about your mind. Like, how did you get to that when everyone else would think that sounds crazy?
Well, I have seen, in my experience in my years, I have seen too many times someone who would not sell a stock or an asset of some sort because they had way too much capital gains. Maybe they've held it for too long, and the tax bill on this will be so bad. And I've looked so many people in the eye and said, yeah, tax bill will be bad, but if you keep holding it, you won't have that problem soon.
Right. It's a good problem to have.
They say, what do you mean? Well, taxes is a good problem to have. Earning profits, making money is the name of the game. That's what we're in it for, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen too many people hold on to something because they just don't want to pay the taxes until they held it, and then they find themselves in market decline, in a bad position, or that company isn't doing the way they were, or something happens, and next thing you know, I see them 2 years later, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have that tax problem anymore.
Right, you got rid of it.
So you mean you lost all that money, you lost those profits.
Right.
Never let taxes get in the way of profits, especially right now. We have just been big advocates for the last year of everybody, look, realize your capital gains right now. If you have stocks you've held a long time or any assets you've held a long time that you have significant capital gains in, do not let the tax bill scare you into keeping that asset. Pay the taxes. We're at an all-time low rate. And if you can keep your income under $74,000 for the year and with the sale, then we can even sell it at a 0% capital gains tax. This is an opportunity that's only going to come once in most people's lifetime.
This is amazing.
I
Is this true for real estate as well?
Yes, but a future capital gains will not be.
It would not be like it is
You will not
now.
have this opportunity at all in the future. Right now, they're talking about in Washington capital gains rates of 42 to 50%. Okay, if they rate capital gains up to 42 to 50%, first, what is that going to do to the market? Because people are not going to be as excited about investing in stocks and earning gains when they have to pay 50% in capital gains on all their profits, right? So the demand of the market's going to be significantly decreased if they pass something of this nature. I hope they don't. And
Yeah.
you never know until they pass it, right? We'll see what happens when time arrives. But right now, the talks of 42 to 50% capital gains. So we're telling people, look, capital gains are on sale right now.
Right.
Pay them.
And I'm sorry, what are capital
Damn.
gains right now?
Capital gains, they're between 20 and 25, 0 to 25%. It's
So you're
depending on
saying-
your income threshold.
So after
currently.
the Trump tax, whatever they called it, that ends in 2025, you're saying they could double 20 to 40 something
yeah.
percent, double what we're paying capital gains. So if I sell a house for, let's say, $100,000, I have a few rentals, I make $20,000 in capital gains. You're saying I'll go home with half of what I normally would have.
Yeah.
So I should sell now.
Yes.
Does
Realize.
anyone want a house? No, I'm just kidding. I've got 2 cute ones at Gulfport. Just kidding. I really do. but-
Anything you have a profit on right now, it's a good time
Right.
to realize those profits.
Right.
Period. Real estate, stocks, anything
Well, and if you
of
think
that
about
nature.
it, it also
Crypto,
crypto. Yeah, that's
which-
another show.
Well, you know, that's perfect example right there, right? We told a lot of people at the beginning of the year, hey, it's time to sell your crypto. Well, now they're taxing me on my crypto. I don't want to sell. I had quite a few people, some friends,
Yeah.
who have bought Bitcoin back around $600, and you know they had a few $1 million worth of gains. And I was talking to them, hey, sell it. Well, I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to ride it out. And I said, no, crypto's about to get smashed. Sell it. No, I'm just going to ride it out. Well, why would you do that? Why would you ride it out when you can sell now at a big profit and buy it again cheap later and do it again? Why on earth
Right.
would you do that? I don't want to pay the taxes on all this. This is millions of dollars, so I'm going to be taxed on it. Well, I tell you what, you keep holding it, that tax problem's going to go away just right along with your profits.
Goodbye.
Now here they are 6 months later going, oh my God, I wish I had sold and paid my taxes, right? Because now look at the account.
Right.
But it's a perfect example of what we're talking about there.
And I just realized something when I was talking about my little houses. It not only affects me and my husband and my family, it affects the young, I have a young Navy guy, a CB, that's getting ready to buy our little house on Dido. It will affect him because I'm going to have to charge him more for this little house to even break even or make some of my money back, because if that 45% capital gains, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's so true about trickle down. It affects everyone, and that's who I
does.
care about, or the little guys, the way I was raised,
Right,
you know?
significantly. No, that's why we're such good friends, Rebecca. You know,
Yeah.
that's where we come together. But
It's true.
It's, for instance, it's the same thing in real estate right now. You
Yeah.
know, look, it's a good time to get out of anything that you're unsure of.
Yeah.
And some people tell me, you know, well, it's going to be a renter's market, a landlord's market, not the renter.
Correct,
right?
a time to rent out,
Which I
yeah.
100% believe and I agree with. Okay, look.
We do need
As
housing.
real estate corrects itself and the real estate values fall
Yeah.
and things correct itself, there's going to be major foreclosures out there. There's going to be a lot of foreclosures, a lot of people losing their homes, sadly. But all of a sudden, we're going to find our place where the market is oversupplied,
Okay.
right? But they're going to find a lot of people who used to be homeowners who have been foreclosed on, their credit's destroyed,
Wow.
and now they can't be homeowners. Now they've got to be renters.
So you're seeing
And
that
so
too?
The
in this-
demand, the demand and rental market's going to go up significantly,
Okay.
and people are right about that. I 100% agree with that. Rent will go significantly higher, but look at what's happening right now. Your taxes and insurance are starting to set off.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, rent is going to be much higher. It's going to be a lot better to be a landlord, but it's not going to be that much more profitable because your insurance costs are going to eat it up. Now, I look.
No, I'm going to worry about the
example.
young people that can't even afford
Yeah.
to keep their own home. Thanks, Paul.
One of my buildings. I just reinsured one of my buildings, and I was just blind. I expected
Yeah.
cost to rise, but my insurance on that commercial building went up 3x this year,
Wow.
3 times the cost. Okay, well then what happens to all the people who have to charge rent?
You're going to have to go up on them,
Yeah.
and then they're going to have to put their kids in maybe less expensive schools or whatever may
And so
happen.
the recession bites
Interesting.
everyone. You know.
No, it's not a recession, Paul.
no,
It's
it's
a transition.
Well, it's a transition into a new world that we're unsure about, and probably a lot of you at home are unsure about the world that we're transitioning into. And if you're sitting at home and anything that we're talking about resonates with you, or you're saying, you know, I don't know about this transition, that's good. You're at least you're ahead of the curve, and you're thinking forward. Look, the next step is to pick up the phone. For the next 20 callers, we have reserved spots in our office, one-on-one with one of our All-Star advisors. You're going to meet the entire team of advisors. You're going to meet the entire All-Star team of Robertson Wealth Management as you go through the client intake process. But it all starts with picking up the phone, setting the meeting, sit down and have a conversation. Let's see if we're a good fit to work with each other. If not, that's okay. No harm, no foul. You walk out of there more empowered and more knowledgeable about your financial situation than you ever have been. If we are a good fit to work together, then we'll work hard, diligently for you. We'll go above and beyond what any other financial firm will do for you. And in the end, you will have the confidence that you deserve to enjoy the rest of your retirement years.
Absolutely. And if you already have a financial advisor that you think you're happy with, why not get a second opinion? You never know. You can always get some complimentary advice and a plan. Stay with us. More with Paul Roberts right after this.
At Roberts Wealth Management, we are passionate about making sure our clients live stress-free in retirement. Our biggest fear when meeting with new clients is whether it is too late to fix other advisors' mistakes. When you're nearing retirement, it's essential that you have a written plan and know exactly how that plan will work. Many consumers are loyal to their current advisors instead of the success of their plan. Always get a second opinion. For a complimentary review, contact us today. We are frequently asked, what's more important in retirement, having a great plan or working with a great advisor? The answer is that both are vitally important to your retirement success. Retirement planning is not just a one and done, which means that even the best plans will need to be adjusted. That's exactly why you need an experienced partner to guide you on the journey. Are you confident enough in both to seek a second opinion? Contact us today for your own complimentary analysis.
All right, thank you for staying with us. Sorry you caught Paul and I talking again. So I'm serious, I get texts and calls, usually on Sundays too, when they're watching this. How is it that it is so different and refreshing? I came from a big box. My husband and I, worked at WLOX for many, many years, and we put it in our 401k. I never heard from anyone, and then one day I realized I'm 40-something years old in very, very high risk. How many people come to you with that same ignorance, blindness, never even told, never even heard from someone? That's very, very upsetting to me.
It is, and that's what we always point out as the downfall of the 401k, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's good on one hand and it's bad on one hand, right? Pensions. Hey, look, our grandfathers didn't have all these problems.
Right.
We tell people all the time, your grandfather, he didn't have to live in a stressful world and environment you did. He knew if I work to this age, my Social Security benefit will be this much and my pension will be this much, and that's all I need to live the rest of my life. So I've got to get to that day and I can retire.
And kind of count down 2 more months till I get my retirement. It's a beautiful thing.
But think about how envious people are today of the simplicity of the decisions. It was as savvy as their financial planning had to get, right? Yeah. They lived in a good world for them, that they didn't have to become their own financial planners. They didn't have to figure out how to do it themselves. But today, we live in a do-it-yourself retirement world. The pensions are gone, and they come out and they say, here's your 401k. Well, what do I do with it? Well, you put money in it. So
and then
you can
what?
retire. Well, how much? However much you want. Well, what do I do with the money in it? You invest it. Invest it in what? Whatever you want.
What if it goes down?
What if it goes down?
You ride the roller coaster. It'll come back.
Don't worry. Over time, it always comes back, right? And people are just left on their own.
And confused.
And they're expected to have the knowledge and the capability. I hire an electrician for a reason.
That's right.
Okay? Well, that electrician hires me for a reason.
That's right.
Okay? There's things that I do all day, every day, my field that I'm specialized and knowledgeable in, and where I can help him and how I can provide value to him. Well, I don't try to go to attempt to do his job.
That would be very dangerous if you tried to do.
That's right. I like my life. I don't want to be electrocuted. I'm a handy guy. I know a lot of construction. I can do a lot of things, but there's limitations, and there's things I say, no, there's a reason there's professionals to do this, and I'm going to hire the professional, and he's going to do it, and he's going to do it right? And that just whole ideology of specialization or professionalism was kind of thrown out the window when they came out with the do-it-yourself retirement world, right? Well, now you're your own specialist. You're your own professional. And what? How do I get help? So most people end up doing the same thing as you. They just go through life, they work, they just go putting away, and they don't even really know what they're putting it in or what's happening. They don't know if they're in the right investments. They don't know if they're putting the right amount about.
Yeah, you're most embarrassed to ask. We've touched on that too. I want everyone to realize if you're sitting there thinking, I'm embarrassed to ask, I don't want to seem ignorant.
That's me. That's me.
But that's all of us, y'all.
Okay.
I mean, really, it is okay.
Right.
You see that all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's why I procrastinated. I lost probably 1.5 years. I already knew about you that I could have jumped ship and had the success we're having now. And the peace of mind is more important than whatever money we may make.
And that's what holds people back is, they've created this thing in society where people don't want to feel inferior for not knowing
Right.
something. Well, you're not expected to know something.
Let
okay?
it go.
I'm not expected to
Yeah.
know how to wire a house. If you have that expectation for me, then I'm going to let you down because I cannot do it. I'm not capable, and I don't want to. Right? I don't.
Right.
It would take me way too much learning, and I would have too much learning curve and too much risk involved. Right? I don't want my house to burn down as my family sleeps at night.
Yes.
So I'm not going to take the risk of thinking I can go and do that. But this intimidation factor that exists in our society today, to where, like you said, people are they think that everybody else knows this.
Right.
So
I must be dumb.
I
You're
must be
not.
dumb, or I feel embarrassed. No, you're not.
Yeah.
98% of the world is all in the same boat today. You know, they're all throwing money in 401k. They don't understand it. They don't understand the purpose or the cause. They don't understand where they're going with it, how to manage it. They don't have a plan, and they don't know where they're going. The first step to freedom, we talk about all the time on the show. Money, the purpose of money is freedom. You'll never achieve money. You'll never achieve freedom without a plan.
Right.
Have a plan, know where you're going, think forward, look forward, and stick to the plan, and you'll see financial success in your life. And I know there's a lot of people sitting at home right now today who are going, yeah, that's a good idea, but you know, I'm just putting it in my 401k. Look, I understand you're still working. Maybe you say, I can't go work with the Roberts Wealth Management team. I don't have money to invest with them. That's okay. We have our 401k coaching program. It's a pro bono program. We don't charge a fee. We don't charge anything
Really?
for it.
Nobody does that.
Right. Everyone who's still
awesome.
working, still in their 401k,
Yeah.
we don't want them to go it alone and try to figure it out and hope they make enough one day.
Yeah.
If you come see us while you're still working, we can design and build a plan, say put away exactly this much, invest it this way, set it this way, pay these taxes, don't pay these taxes. And then when you get there, you know where you're going. And when
Right.
you get there, you get all the enjoyment of doing it and achieving it. Look, in today's world, to wrap up the show, you don't have to do it yourself. We had 20 slots available today. The editor just told me we've got about 4 of them left, so don't miss this opportunity. We're wrapping up the show. Give us a call. If anything we're saying resonates with you, you probably need a full-blown comprehensive review of your current financial situation and a holistic plan that sets you on track to retire right. Don't move forward with fear and anxiety. Move forward with the confidence you deserve. Pick up the phone, give us a call today.
Absolutely. And you definitely will experience the Roberts Wealth difference. Thanks again, as always, Paul. And thank you at home. And we will see you again soon. Have a great day.